Hey everybody, welcome to the Energy Healing Lifestyle Journal, Self-Care Challenge Day 41. Yay! We are on a roll, you guys. Today we are talking about alignment and being an observer and that third eye chakra energy. And in the Soul Legacy Journal with Iona Mead, it's Spiritual Freedom Saturday. They just match and fit and blend and meld so beautifully. So third eye chakra talks really about intuition, inner awareness, right? Having that higher self-awareness, being aware of the humanist aspect of self, as well as our highest self, right? That soul spiritual self, our energy body, all the things. Having that ability to, in a sense, step back, right, and observe where we are, observe how we think, observe how we feel, observe our thought patterns and our self-image without getting sucked all into it, right? Having the ability in that awareness, if we choose to, if they're not serving our highest good, to break some of those patterns or transmute them, right? Create new patterns. Just trying to share to some groups here. I kind of lost track of where I was at. My apologies. Hey, there she is. Iona says, hey, love. Hi, Iona. Thank you for being here. Forgive me while I attempt to multitask and share in groups. And I apologize if I put them in a group more than once. I lose track of myself just a little bit sometimes. So being in alignment, we've been talking about alignment, and I think oftentimes we just automatically think of alignment as being like with the highest, right? With God, source, spirit, what we feel is our purpose, or unconditional love, that space of our heart, right? Which actually I challenge that a little bit, but the space of unconditional love. But then with more awareness and more observation, I see that sometimes we are literally in alignment at all times. It's just having that awareness and observe what we are aligned with in that moment. And sometimes we're in a process of shifting that alignment, right? So again, I think of that chrysalis and the butterfly trying to come through, and it has that squished, tight feeling, and we're wiggling through because, in a sense, we're realigning, or we're aligning with this energy that's higher, an aspect of us that's higher, moving away from that human ego-ness, right? That makes sense. Can you kind of feel that a little bit? I know I feel that in moments. Anna says, I'm about, wait, about to, oh, you're in your PJs, and got your PJs on and chilling. Awesome. I couldn't read your type, the letters there. My apologies. More than once, right? Definitely more than once. That's what I think. Again, part of the process, we have layers and upon layers, and we have so many experiences in this lifetime and others that may or may not be sitting in our energetic field, that may or may not be trying to come up for to be cleared, right? Clear, heal, and align. It's all part of our growth. It's part of this life experience. It's part of our healing processes. It's part of that ascension, in a sense, alchemizing all that stuff and turning it into something more, right? So that our life experiences aren't in vain. But it takes a real skill, doesn't it, to be able to have that inner awareness and then get in that observer mode. So when you're able to do that, please give yourself mad kudos, because if we reflect back in our lifetimes, in our lifetime, in this past of this lifetime, we can probably remember and reflect on times when we couldn't, right? When we didn't have that inner awareness. I can, especially when I talk about like my teenage snarky years. I focused on everything outside of me, right? I observed everything outside of me. I was so super hyper focused on everyone else and what they were going through and what they were doing and how I could help them, if I could help them, or how it was affecting me, right? Because then I would, not intentionally, but again, in reflection, it was almost like I was blaming them for what I was feeling, right? Because they were doing a thing and I felt a way about it because I wasn't taught how to deal with that. how to manage those emotions and how to separate what was theirs from me, right? I've shared before the codependency that I've experienced. Excuse me, when I kind of was in that habit and pattern of waking up in the day like, okay, this is childhood stuff, right? Waking up in the day like, what are we feeling today? So it's like I'm asking everyone else around me, what are you feeling? Because that's what I'm going to feel today. I had no idea what an empath was. None. But that's what I learned to do. What are you feeling? So I know how I'm feeling. And I shouldn't even say for the day because it could shift throughout the day, right? People, we, as humans, our moods can change, our emotions can change like at a drop of a dime sometimes. So yeah, it was just kind of like being on hyper awareness, hyper vigilant to see what are we feeling next? What are we feeling now? What are we doing now? Right? That survival mode, fight, flight, freeze, fight, flight, freeze, fight, fight, flight, freeze. So when you get to this space where you can stay feeling grounded, even if you don't stay there, that you can get back into it pretty quickly. Like you know how to reground, you know how to recenter, you know how to come back fully into your body with that awareness, but yet also still be in that observer mode. So I don't mean come into your body to be pushed and pulled, but to have that full awareness of you and how you how you feel. What are your actual emotions? What are yours versus the energy around you, right? That question, is it mine? I still use that like daily. That's a skill. Use that. Is it mine? And if it's not mine, detaching from that, right? Sending it back to its original source. Whether you transmute it or not, send it back to its original source. We don't have to take on the energy and the emotions of everyone around us and the experiences of everyone around us. We have to handle our own. That's our job, right? We take care of what we have to. Yes, we help and support others. I just mean we don't take it on and enable and trying to fix everything for other people because that's for them to do. That's their life experience. That's their journey, right? So being aware of what is mine and what do I want to do with mine. And that's a big thing too, to be able to feel, I'm searching for a word here, grounded, safe, secure, confident. Might not even feel any of those things, but at least knowing that you have the choice, that you have an opportunity, that you have responsibility really to choose for yourselves of what is the next action or moment that you want to take. So again, what do I want to be in alignment with? Do I want to be in alignment with my humanness or my human experience, or do I want to get into alignment with unconditional love, God, source, creator? There's a big difference there. So each and every day as we do our journaling process, we get to check in, right? Because we want to be aware and we want to assess where we're at. And if we're not already in alignment, we want to get into alignment, right? So those three steps are massive. And each and every day and each and every moment, it helps us get into this right now moment. It helps us see where we're at in this present moment and what our options are. Sometimes our option is to do nothing in the moment or just sit with where we are. And that is okay too. That's actually an action step. Sorry, I'm still a little sore. If you've been following me, you know that I had a tooth extracted yesterday. And to be honest, I'm amazed at how well I feel today. So much gratitude for that. And I promise you, truth, I did Reiki on my whole entire body, like my whole self energy, because I was catching myself feeling anxious, right? So nip that in the bud right away. I Reiki'd my jaw specifically, right? So that it could support the healing process and the procedure itself. And then I Reiki'd the situation so that when I got there, it was like all ready for me, right? So it was considering it's been amazing. So I'm so much gratitude for that. Let me come back over here. Iona says truth. I'm not sure which part you're agreeing with me on, but I'm glad that you're agreeing. So thank you for that. I went off on my tangent for a moment. So getting into alignment, if we're not already, having that inner self-awareness, some of the things that help us be aware, that help us assess where we're at is literally our emotions, right? And we typically talk about emotions on Tuesday and some more on Wednesday. But checking in with that, do I feel love? Do I feel gratitude? Do I feel a sense of comfort or motivation or excitement, right? What type of feelings, emotions am I experiencing? Am I experiencing that stress? Am I experiencing burnout? Am I experiencing overwhelm? And when I have those experiences, and that gives me that opportunity to step back, right? Be the observer and see what is going on that's initiating or igniting those emotions, and then what can I do to change that. And I'm not saying change it because it's wrong. It's not wrong. It's normal to have these types of emotions, right? It's normal to have these human life experiences, and we do want to normalize that. However, most of us don't want to stay in those types of emotions. We don't want to feel like we're stuck cycling in all of that, right? Like that quicksand feeling. Because sometimes if you're, like the human experience also likes to add to it and then dip us down even further, spiral down even further. So we can get into alignment and we can see what we need to do. Does something need cleared? Does something need healed? Do we just need to take another action step, right? Do we need to shift or pivot? That happens as part of the experience. Well, we have the opportunities to do that, which I think is stinking amazing. I'm not going to lie. Ayana says, oh, oops, jumped on me. Sorry. Worthy. Yeah, right. That came in a lot today. So as I was working on like all my things, right? I've shared that I've been revamping my system. And as I'm organizing all of those pieces, really looking into my book and the connection with that and how I'm writing that, it's amazing. The worthiness trap. Definitely, it's a thing, right? It's not just the words. It's been a factor, an aspect, an energy block in a lot of many, a lot of many different ways in my life for sure. And I know it's not just me, right? Anna says, "Oh, your tooth." Yeah, again, so much gratitude because you know how we talk about the mind can take us out and our mind can get ahead of us and it can just create things out of fears and worries. Well, I definitely was doing that. Not as bad as it could have been, but I still had to catch myself and step away from that process doing that about my tooth. So I just want to give the doctor kudos. She did ask me, like, haven't you had a tooth extracted before? And I'm like, not awake. Because it's true. They used to put me out, knock me out, wake me up when you're done. I'm good with that. That's what I was expecting this time. So now I'm like, awake? What? Then I didn't know what to expect. But yeah, she was amazing, actually. So I had a lot of gratitude for her. She was definitely amazing. Patient, explain, like, just enough to try to keep it chill and normalizing the situation. And yeah, it is awesome. Thank you. I am so grateful. Because the night before I didn't sleep real well, right? Like I slept some, but I woke up early and stayed awake. But last night I slept really good. I got up at 4 o'clock. Had a hard time waking up to give mom her meds, but I got up, got it done. Went right back to sleep. It was beautiful. So I felt really good when I got up this morning. So thank you. So I know, I'm sorry, I keep getting sidetracked. Having that self-awareness, that inner awareness, some of the intuition really has to do with that deeper self-awareness, recognizing things that trigger us, where they come from, if it's a trigger from old trauma, or if it's, one of those like higher, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Cues from spirit. Because in the early stages, especially, we can get those confused, right? Because we're still human, and sometimes emotions feel like, an emotion, and they could have two different, completely different meanings and purposes. Excuse me, like I've shared before, that it took a while, like, to realize that anxiety feels the same in my body as excitement. For real. Anxiety and excitement feel the same in my body. That was massive for me to learn because what a big difference that makes to have that, to recognize the difference in them, right? Because one sends you one way and the other sends you a completely opposite way. So that sometimes what we feel in our gut is a triggered emotion from trauma, like it's past stuff. And it's there to show us that we still have something there to heal. It's still important, but it's not the same as having that gut feeling from it's not the same as the clue from our spirit guides, God source going, "Hey, hey, no, don't do that." But sometimes it can feel the same in the body. So really having that inner awareness to be able to decipher the difference between the two, right? Something else to think about in our spiritual freedom for Saturdays. I didn't think of what day it was again. Iona says truth, LOL, all of it. Thank you, love. The mind, man, I know, right? The mind can really very powerful. So to notice the power it can have in kicking us down, and also noticing and recognizing the power it has in our success as well, and how it can lift us up if we allow it, right? And that's been a big one in my own journey, allowing it, changing those affirmations, um, even just the quietness or the ease, or having being the observer instead of the hamster wheel. There's big differences. Iona says, "Yep, you would have to knock me out." Not gonna lie, I was shocked. I was really shocked. So all that, if you don't mind me, I'm gonna share now. All that anticipation, and it's common, around here. You show up to a doctor's appointment, and you have to wait a little bit, and then you get called back to the room, and then you wait a little bit more. But of course, there I'm like, oh man, because the way it's set up, it's like almost like cubicles, almost like there's walls, but not four walls. It's like three walls. So there's three walls, and then the like long chairs, beds, whatever you want to call them, the dental chairs are in there. So you have full sound, and auditory things are a thing for me. So I could hear all the drills and all the things, all the dental noises around me, which did not help. So I was sitting in this chair for probably half hour, 40 minutes before it was actually time to extract the tooth. So, but then that process was like nothing. It was like, wiggle, 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 wiggle. Okay, we're done. What? Like, literally, what? I had to stress myself out for that? Are you serious? I'm waiting to feel pressure, possibility of pain. Like, no, wiggle, wiggle. Okay, we're done. It was amazing. feels it feels silly to talk of such a thing, but I just have to be honest and have the gratitude in that. Emma says it was massive. Definitely. Yeah, Spiritual Freedom Saturday. I know, and I almost said Friday. I don't know why. It's Saturday. It's Saturday, you guys. So alignment, observation, third eye chakra healing, spiritual freedom. All the things we cover on Saturdays, right? And they all fit and align with each other very well. Having that inner awareness, tapping into that the spiritual part of self. We all have one, whether you recognize it or not. If you're into things like energy healing and Reiki, right? Of course we are. If you're into of course you are recognizing that spiritual aspect of self. So how do you allow yourself that spiritual freedom? How do you allow yourself to be clear, to get out of humanness, ego-ness stuff, to be in alignment with spirit? Glad you're laughing. I'm trying. I'm trying here. Words, how we speak things, right? How we speak, who we're speaking to. Practicing here. Practicing. Okay, I think that's it for today, to be honest with you. I think we covered everything. It was a good chat. So thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Full sound. Yeah, it was not fun at all. There's probably a lag on these comments too. I didn't care for the full sound part at all. Not at all. I know. I was trying to like crack up. It was funny though when she was doing the wiggles. I was just like sending Reiki, right? And then I would setting those intentions like it's ready to be released, it's ready to let go, it's nice and smooth, nice and easy, and then it's like we're done. Perfect. Maybe it would have went that way, but yeah, perfect. It was amazing. Who would have thought? So are you aware of where you are? Are you aware of your human ego-ness self? Are you aware of your spirit soul self? Are you aware of your energy body? Are you aware of the layers within your energy body? Are you aware of how to clear, heal, and align those energies? What helps you do that? What allows you the spiritual freedom, meaning to flow through this human life existence in that energy of unconditional love, of spirit, of God source creator, in from your guidance of your soul versus human ego-ness. What helps you get into alignment when you need to? Drop all that in the comments. Drop it in the groups. Get on the calls. Those links are in the description. Thank you for sharing your time and space, whether you hopped on live or replay. Iona, thank you for being here. Love you billions. Wiggle. That's all I felt. Again, that's all I felt, which amazed me because I was forewarned, and even she let me know, like, now remember, pressure is normal. Like, it's normal to feel the pressure throughout the whole process. I'm like, okay, so I was really prepared to feel this pressure. I didn't feel any pressure. I felt a wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Not complaining. Grateful. Very grateful. So again, love you billions. Enjoy your jammy day if you decide to make a full day of it. I will see you tomorrow for Crown Chakra healing and more of that unconditional love and receiving and financial freedom. Don't forget as well, 4th week of September, 7-Day Chakra Healing Challenge. It's available on YouTube and also at theenergyhealingschool.com, where there are some added bonuses available as well. So join us live, join us on replay. It stays up on YouTube all year round. So there's that. Have an amazing day, evening, whatever time in the world it is for you. So much love. Bye, guys.